right into the Kaura phalanx, and he split it. And but then, unfortunately, the other Pandavas, they didn't manage. They were not quick enough to follow him. And was it Jayadratha?
Yes.
Yeah. They actually were able to hold off the other Pandavas. He had a benediction that he was able to defeat the Pandavas at least one at a time. So he was able to hold off the other Pandavas, and then the Kaura formation again closed up on Abhimanyu. There he was just completely locked up caught in the Kaura formation. But it didn't stop him. He just kept on fighting. He was so ferocious. He was fighting against one general after another and killing him. And it came to the point where he was unstoppable. And the Kaura was seeing that this boy alone, he's going to defeat us. So what did they actually do? So actually at that point they broke the Kshatriya principles, and several generals banded against him, which is not supposed to happen. But they went several on him and started fighting him, and then he was actually started being defeated. But even at in the very end, I think his one arm was cut off. He kept on fighting with the other arm with his sword and like that until finally his head was cut off.
It was at Dushasha, he smashed it, took his club and brought it down on his head.
Okay, it's like
that's
that.
how
Yeah. In a completely, irreligious way, isn't it? That's not how you fight. So finally, he was killed to the last minute. Another one is also the son of Arjuna. Was it Gatotkacha?
Garukas.
And then Garukas. Is that how it's pronounced? Garukas. No, that's not the son of Arjuna. Bhima. He was Bhima's son. Bhima had a son by a Rakshasa woman. Hidimba. He killed Hidimba, and his sister was Hidimbi. That's how it is. So Bhima had a son by this Rakshasa woman, and so he was actually a Rakshasa, Gatotkacha. How do you know?
I think it's Garukas.
Gatotkacha. What does Sanskrit expert say?
I can't remember.
It's the same, but you're pronouncing it with A in the end, and this is without A.
Gatotkacha. Yeah. Okay. I'm not an expert in Sanskrit pronunciation. And but he was in the middle of the battle. He started really fighting, and Rakshasas are powerful. They're more powerful than humans. So he was also fighting and trampling down the Kauravas to the point where they had to, again, what could they do? They had to stop him. Somehow or other they had to do something. So at that point, was Drona, the general at that time, and he told Karna that you had to use your, what is it called? Was it a Shakti weapon? No?
Shakti weapon.
Shakti weapon. A special weapon that he got from Indra?
Yes.
Okay. That he actually had kept in reserve. He could only use it once. He had only one shot in his gun. And he had reserved that this is for Arjuna, and killed Arjuna with this. But at this point, they say there's only one thing that can stop Gatotkacha and Garukas. Is that Garukas? Okay, that sounds also more right. And so finally, Karna, he released his Shakti weapon against Garukas, and but in the last, as the last thing, Garukas, he would keep fighting, even the last breath he was there, being hit by this unconquerable weapon, and with the last strength he had, he rose up into the air, and then he expanded into an enormous size, and then he came just crashing down from the sky and smashed, how many 10,000 soldiers of the Cold War, or something like that. So he was also fighting to the last breath, even though he was being killed. He was fighting to the last breath. So that's glorious. There's no running away, and and this is also what Krishna is instructing Arjuna. You fight for the sake of fighting. Going away, being compassionate, and like that. This is cowardice. This is weakness. This is not a man. Arjuna, Krishna asks, how has this impotence come over you? And actually, the Sanskrit root is actually this is not men. Men are not like that. Real men, they are fighting, and so Krishna is telling Arjuna this idea of retreating from battle and becoming mendicant and being compassionate and for your elders, for your Bhishma, Drona, like that. It's just weakness. Give up this weakness and go and fight. This is glorious. Arjuna says, I don't see anything good coming out of this battle. Krishna says, there's only good coming out of it. There's nothing to be. It's either you gain victory, enjoy the earthly kingdom, or you go to the heavenly planets. There's only good coming out of it, fighting like that. So that's also why, the Kshatriyas fighting like that in these principles, they are very solidly situated in transcendental knowledge. They have no fear. This fear is a symptom of one is not situated in transcendental knowledge, and that's of course Arjuna's situation in the beginning of the battle. He's lost his transcendental knowledge, and then he's lamenting for all this death and destruction that is going on, and he's just lamenting. And then Krishna says that, but this is just nonsense. There's nothing to lament about. There's no one that's going to die here. We're all eternal. The bodies will die nevertheless, but no matter what, bodies are destined to die, whether in the battle or and so on. That doesn't make a difference. And we are eternal. We will always live. Simple, this basic transcendental knowledge. Arjuna had forgotten. Krishna immediately instructs him on that, and situates him again in transcendental knowledge. So Kshatriyas, they are acting in transcendental knowledge, at least, to some degree, at least they are completely aware that they are transcendental, they will not die. So there's nothing to fear for losing the body. The body should be properly utilized, engaged, and if need be, it should be sacrificed. But this is where the Kshatriyas is situated. Such a powerful knowledge I had. These weeks I had several cases where I started actually telling about when I was presenting the Bhagavad Gita. That's actually what it is. This is the conversation between Arjuna and Krishna before battle is about to start. And Arjuna is lamenting for how all this death and destruction in the war that's going to take place, and it's a whole, it's so horrible. And then as Krishna's look and said, there's no Arjuna, there is nothing to lament about. Nobody is dying in this battle. Only the bodies are dying. We all living. We lived. We've lived in the past. We live in the future. We will always live. There's nothing to lament about. So I got into narrating this whole thing to people on the street, and actually there was several to actually go, wow, this is really wanted that, and actually, I don't know, you're using that line, something like that. It's really powerful. It's, I think that the modern people, they cannot take, it's too much, or, they're not ready for hearing like that. No, they are. One has to narrate it just with the force that it's presented in the Bhagavad Gita, and then it's attractive, and people that buy the book. I didn't distribute a whole lot of books actually, but that's not because. But actually, when it was when I was presenting it like that, and then I had several people buying the book because yes, I wanted this book. This is really what I need to know. Such powerful knowledge, and it's beautiful. I mean, how the kshatriyas are fighting. War is not beautiful. Modern intellectual war is horrible, but war is in Vedic times and Vedic principles is actually very glorious and beautiful. And also we know that it's not no one else but the kshatriyas are involved. It's not that the common populations, brahmanas, vaishyas and sudras and the women and children, they're not all involved. The wars are taking place way far away from where others are living out in empty battlefields like Kurukshetra or like that. And only kshatriyas are fighting there, and they're fighting on these religious principles, and it's beautiful, it's fantastic to hear about. It's really inspiring. We can follow, the example can be adopted, although we're not kshatriyas, but still, everyone has to follow the particular dharma, the particular religious principle, and simply sticking to one's dharma will make one glorious. That's the whole point here in this second part of the purport Prabhupada talks about. And also it's given in the verse here that where Sura says that these demons, they're no more, they're worth as like the stool coming from the mother's womb. And Prabhupada talks about that if one is not a great devotee or is not laying his body on the right battlefield, fighting, sacrificing his body on the right battlefield, then one is useless, inglorious. One is just like the urine, from one's father's urine, stinking and disgusting. That should make us fired up, here. I don't want to be. We walk around on the mental platform, and it's so hard, and I don't want to. I'd like to do something else, and I'd rather just hide and prasad. So then we read this and then say, no, I don't want to be useless. I want to, use my life in something glorious, fighting for Krishna, in whatever way we're supposed to fight for Krishna. This is extremely inspiring, for devotees. We're all fighting, we're fighting to simply follow the process, fighting to follow the regulated principles, chanting our rounds, and then preaching and doing our service like that, and just sticking to it. This is the glory. Like kshatriyas, they stick to the fighting even though they're already defeated. They keep on fighting because this is just what they're supposed to do. And everyone, if you just stick to, we've been given a particular service according to our nature and according to the need, and one sticks to that. Then one is actually glorious. So it's and all perfection will be there simply by doing that. Okay, yes.
You talked a little about applying this Kshatriya spirit in the preaching field. So I was just wondering, because the Kshatriya spirit is very much dominated by passion, so how do you do this without getting caught up in passion?
No, it's not passion. It's actually, I mean, there's a slight passion in the sense that they have this ego that I can protect and I can fight like that. But the fighting itself and the fighting of religious principles, that's not passion. It's forceful, but forceful it's in itself is not passionate. Kshatriyas are basically in the mode of goodness. But they have tints of passion. They were mainly this, that they say, when they see someone weak, okay, I'll protect you. But that's also ego. We cannot protect anyone. But they have this kind of fatherly, protective mood. And of course they have a sense of honor. Someone is challenging, they fight. No, they're not. Like Dhruva, his honor was, he was disgraced by his mother, so then this sense of honor comes up in him. So that's where the passion is. But the spirit of just going on and fighting according to religious principles is not passion. This is following Dharma. And preaching, being on the street, and also, going on with great enthusiasm from person to person, whether there is success or failure, just going on no matter what. This is not passionate. It's forceful. Mode of goodness has force. Mode of goodness is not inaction. It's a very active mode. It's characterized by determination. See actually Bhagavad Gita, determination in the mode of goodness and determination in the mode of passion. What is the difference? It's it is unbreakable determination in the mode of goodness. One simply goes on until the goal is reached, or because it's one's duty. There's no wavering in success or failure. One simply goes on, and it's also, as said, it's sustained by yoga practice. So and yoga doesn't mean hatha yoga practice. It means you're connected with Krishna. Yoga means connection with Krishna. You're aware this is a religious thing I'm doing, and one just keeps on. Whereas in the mode of passion, one is attached to the fruits of one's activities. So if they're not there, then one loses one's determination. So this strong determination, this kshatriyas going on, irrespective of, or regardless of if they are victorious or defeated, that's definitely not mode of passion. That's mode of goodness. We have to learn these policies correctly. Mode of goodness is not inaction. That's a misunderstanding. You just sit down, be very peaceful. That's also part of mode of goodness. Internally, one is very calm and like that, but one is not inactive. This is mode of sleeping. That's mode of ignorance. This inactivity. Can we stop here? Yes or no? Yeah.
I can ask one question. What would happen if is it okay?
Quick, please.
What would happen when because the Kshatriya, the young ones, when they grew up, they got the training and all this, but if they weren't able to follow it, and if they couldn't keep the Kshatriya-like spirit, what would happen? Would they be like outcasts?
No, they are Divya Bandhus. They're friends of the twice born. They're Kshatriya Bandhus. So Yeah, no, then they will, they'll find a place where they belong. Not necessarily outcasts, but Sudras or Vaishyas. They might be Brahmanas, that's of course, they can have a higher position. That's possible, it's mentioned in connection with Shabadev's 100 sons. Some of them became Brahmanas. And I think also said some of them were Vaishyas. Became Vaishyas. So they just don't have the nature of Kshatriyas, so then they can be Vaishyas or Sudras. And have some respectability because they are, related by family to Kshatriyas, so there's also...
There's all this, you said it's mode of goodness, but it's also like passion. There's a lot of passion involved. So what is a Kshatriya without a wife? Without, isn't it that almost all like Kshatriyas, they're like inclined to...
Kshatriyas are always married, exception is Bhishma.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're always married. Okay, Jai, now we're meeting.